Hey, yo, welcome into the CHGO White Sox postgame show. Presented by PointsBet. Use promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Welcome into Studio A of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. We are not full today with the CHGO White Sox crew. I have Herb Lawrence with me.
Hello.
You can follow him on Twitter at Ecknerwall23. He's the CHGO White Sox community leader. Vinny Duber is under the weather, so we wish Vinny the best in his recovery. Hopefully he's eating some chicken noodle soup.
Chicken noodle soup.
Watching his favorite cartoons and having a nice little Sunday. What do you like to do when you're sick?
With soda on the side? Just chill out. Chicken noodle soup and tomato soup always remind me of being sick / ginger ale / 7-Up. /
Gatorade.
So all those things I only eat and or consume when I am sick. Otherwise, I will not eat those things. Like chicken noodle soup, like I think my body will automatically say, okay, you're sick then. What are we doing? Like 7-Up, same thing, ginger ale. Settle your stomach down. So that's what I do, just convalesce at the house, act like a baby. And if I'm sick with Courtney there, she's definitely going to take care of me. She's going to, treat me, and make sure that I'm good. I'm like, hey, I'm fine, leave me alone, She's like, no, you got to do this, drink some fluids, do all that stuff. I'm like, I appreciate you. Thank you. Because if I was by myself, I would just, power through it and come to work. I think this pandemic, while bad, has taught us some great lessons. Like, if you're sick, stay at home.
Right.
Get better. Your health and well-being is the most important that everybody needs to get, and the importance, I think, as Americans, we think we need to power through and get well or go to work first instead of getting well is like a sickness in its own right.
Vinny was kind of doing it in the Slack channel. He's like, maybe I'll jump on for a post-game hit, and it's like, yeah, we'd love to if you are feeling up all right, but if not, I mean, shit, just get your rest.
I think it's ingrained in us Americans, like, oh, you gotta go to work, you gotta do something, you gotta contribute. It's like, no, you get better. That's what your value is to us, the human. You getting better, and Sean and I can take care of this. And I hope Vinny is going to sleep and not watching this because, getting rest is part of recovery of an illness. Going to sleep, not watching the White Sox would 100% be my thing. I'm like, hey, Sean, I am not watching this fucking team because it's going to make me sicker because I'm going to be angrier. And then I'm going to be, never recovering because the goddamn White Sox are always making me sick. Literally.
Sounds like Vinny the Vinny LaRussa right there.
Yeah.
Can't watch the White Sox because he's sick,
Exactly.
Bad for his health.
And that's why most White Sox fans, not most White Sox fans, that's why I want Tony La Russa to sit out for the rest of the year because a heart problem with a pacemaker is nothing to mess around with. It's not going to get better by coming to manage the White Sox this year. Relax. Take a whole offseason. And if you want to come back and the White Sox want you back next year, smooth. And everything's on the up and up and you're not going to have any issues with your pacemaker, awesome. But a pacemaker is nothing to joke around with, and this White Sox team will make your pacemaker go wild because they're terrible.
We got brunch with the boys in the chat. Greg and Hunter are in here. Hunter saying watching the Sox has made me ill at times this year, and also Chirac Bobby coming in saying hate the Twins are so unreliable. Let's jump to last night.
Yep.
You want to have a little bit discussion of how baseball games have been ending recently with the Manfred E. Mann rule with the ghost runner on second base. We saw the White Sox go into extra innings again last night. They won in 4-3.
Yep.
Aaron Bummer had a nice close. I thought he did a nice job last game. But the Sox also lost in extra innings on Friday, 3-2 in the 10th. But what you probably care about more is the Guardians can't stop winning. They have won 3 straight against Minnesota. They won on Friday 4-3, then won the first half of a doubleheader 5-1, and then won in 15 innings 7-6 in September. Before we talk about the actual extra innings thing. I think it's hilarious how we're like, oh, the Guardians are going to be gassed. The Guardians haven't had an off day since August 23rd. Their next off day is September 26th, and they're playing 5 games in 4 days. They got double headers left and right.
Yep.
They just played a 15-game inning. Like, this team has to be dead by Tuesday, right? Right?
24 innings just yesterday for them.
Right?
Yeah.
They have to be dead by Tuesday, right?
I mean, just
25.
Just think about their whole thing in this last month. They had that long game, that long day at home versus the Mariners, which they eventually lost that game. Mariners had to fly back to Seattle, play the White Sox. White Sox win 2 out of 3. But that's part of the Guardians thing. Like, they played that game like a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, this Sunday. Then yesterday they play a whole day. It was a split doubleheader. It started at 12 o'clock Eastern time, or I think Central time, and then they didn't finish that game until 11 or 12. They spent a whole day again playing baseball. So, yes, eventually they'll get tired, but that doesn't mean they'll lose, especially for these Twins. And I always said to these White Sox fans, for you to rely on the Twins, yes, it's disappointing the Twins don't come through, but the White Sox put themselves in this predicament from you watching this game and like laughing at it, haha, Twins Guardians, enjoy second and third place. From you having to rely on the goddamn Minnesota Twins, the weird-ass Minnesota Twins. Who are we kidding? That is the thing that I say to White Sox fans. It's not the Twins' fault that they're bad. They're always going to be bad. We know that. It's the White Sox fans for making those games relevant last night. And it was good to see. I enjoyed the baseball despite the outcome. It was enthralling. Yeah, enthralling. Steven watched the whole thing. I started watching from the 8th inning
mode
until like the 15th. I took a couple breaks because I had to go and pick up Courtney. But then when I got back, I was like checking my phone. I was like, let's see how the Guardians won. And then when I said, it's in the top of the 15th. It's still going on. Let's go. We turned it right on and watched the end of that game. But I just don't like extra inning games. I don't like this rule where you get the extra runner on second base to start the inning off. It's really dumb. I used to like it last year. I've come around and said, no, it's really dumb. I have a different way, and Steven, you can chime in. You were saying last night that Steve Stone had a better rule for going forward.
His suggestion was it was a compromise between someone like me that wants just a regular extra inning with no ghost runner and what they have right now, which is runner on second. He said put the runner on first. I really liked that idea. Because at least then it's not just a bloop single scores what could potentially be a game-winning run. I don't want to see a game end like that. Or you don't even need a hit to score the run.
And that would be interesting next year, too, because with the pitch clock, you can only pick off 3 times, right? So if you're... and
two
then
times, and then
two times, and the third
the
time you have to get them, or they're on second.
Yeah.
Right. So
third.
I think that would be really interesting, especially with that new rule, because it would make special or stolen bases more special and more important and put a value on that. Guys like Billy Hamilton, Gerard Dyson might be able to be more valuable to teams. Tim LeCastro. So, like, I like the Stoney move. I think I agree with you. Like, it just does feel fake.
Yeah.
Like, Liam Hendricks comes in with a runner on second, and, like, he doesn't give up a hit. He doesn't give up a base runner only advances on a bunt, like a sacrifice bunt. Like, it's just like,
and he gets lost.
Right. Like, it's just it takes that punch out of extra innings, because it was fun that a game could go 18 innings because just one of these teams can't hit. Right. Like,
yeah.
I've always liked that, like, endlessness to baseball. I get why they probably don't want to have endlessness, especially, I mean, you could watch the Big Ten Network last night. Iowa and Nevada played like a 14-hour game, and all those producers were probably ready to jump off bridges.
Student athletes, though.
Right.
My proposal for next year and going forward is to play regular games. Like, so if you don't have a resolution after 9 innings, you play 3 more extra innings. In those 3 innings, if there's no resolution there, tie in the regular season. That game's tied. We don't have to use all of our pitchers. We don't have to do all this garbage. It's a regular season that has 162 goddamn games. Make it a tie, like hockey. 82, 65, and 6. And then you can have some tiebreakers that way, too.
Yeah,
It'll be a little much easier. Then in the playoffs, like hockey, play as long as you have to get a winner. They don't carry this extra ghost runner rule into the playoffs. I just say, like, if we can't settle the score within a certain period of time during a long-ass regular season, why are we keep on doing this? Why does Cleveland have to suffer all these games because of, firstly, a long weather delay, and then yesterday's game was just long and ridiculous because they scored, 3 runs total in the 15 and the extra innings that they have, so 1 in the 13th each, and then the Cleveland Guardians scored their third run or the third run of the extra innings in the 15th to win the game. It's just a lot of baseball for no goddamn reason.
And I'm not against a cap either. Like, I'm not against, like you see in the NBA, they really don't have a cap, but they shave their periods down from 12 minutes to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So at least there's a cut down of the play. In hockey, it's 5 minutes for an overtime and then the shootout.
Yeah.
And then in the NFL, it's just like, you can't score. Fuck it. It's a tie.
Tie game.
Your fault. Maybe like would a point system ruin baseball? Like if you get a win, you get 2 points. If you get a tie, you get 1 point. Like just to make it easy. Or like I'm fine with ties because especially if you're getting rid of the 162 tiebreaker, that might actually help it be a little bit easier to decide who goes to the playoff. It's just who has more wins.
I'm just ready for dramatic change. I'm glad Major League Baseball is doing the thing where you play every team next year. There is no interleague play where you only play the AL Central or you only play the NL Central. You're playing everybody. I would like it to even go further where you're just even schedule. You play everybody the same amount of games as everybody else and get rid of divisions because it is not fair that the White Sox, the Guardians, and the Twins are still in the playoffs while the Orioles are possibly not in the playoffs just because they are in the AL East. If we're going to be doing this equitably, they should have same record or same amount of games versus everybody else, get rid of the divisions, and just say top 7 teams in the AL get to go to the playoffs, top 7 teams in the NL get to go to the playoffs, and have just one huge thing in the playoffs where the best teams play versus the best teams. I just think that the divisions have outworn their welcome. It was good back in the 30s, the 1930s, when you had to have trains from Chicago to Cleveland to Detroit. Now we have flight. We're good. We don't need to have divisions anymore. I don't need to see the Guardians 19 times a year. I don't need to see them 10 times a year.
I don't need to see the
just
Royals.
need to see them exactly the same amount of times that I see the Angels, the same amount of times I see the Mariners, the same amount of times I see the Marlins. Make it equitable for everybody. And so the Yankees and the Boston Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays and all the people in the AL East can have a fair shot to make the playoffs. And if the 5 teams in the AL Central, the old AL Central, don't make it, F them. You're out. Bye.
And something that I thought was truly the biggest crime in that Guardians-Twins game was Jim Margulis, I think, pointed it out. Like Emilio Pagan's on the bump for the Twins and James Karinchak's on the bump for the Guardians. Both of those guys are the slowest pitchers on their team. They're both taking 25 seconds to throw a pitch. Now with the pitch clock, it's going to make the game, I think, more equitable, and it's going to make the game quicker. Yeah. So if the game is quicker, you'll get to the 9th inning quicker, which means you don't have to speed up extra innings. So I just think that next year it would be a perfect time to let's fix these extra inning rules. I'd be fine with first base. You're fine with no runner.
Yeah.
I would say probably first base, but with the pitch clock. That way, I don't think you have to make it only 3 extra innings. I'm fine with if they want to play 25 extra innings, that's fine. But make it a little bit easier for them to score. But make it add a little bit more of a tenseness, because if a guy's able to steal first base, then runner in scoring position. But if they're able to throw him out at first, baby, let's go. We're 2 away from ending this inning. So I don't know. I think it could make the game a lot more exciting.
And I like Russet's idea. One big rule change that needs to happen is to adjust the requirements for wins. Starters rarely go 7 innings now, and the game is fundamentally changing. I don't like it, but it is what it is. And I agree with that. You can have a guy go 4 2/3 like Lucas Giolito did the other day, and his replacement just go a third of an inning, and his replacement can be credited with the win there. It's that's not equitable. And also, as Rusted says, pitchers rarely do the complete game shutouts, rarely get to 200 innings on a year. So as the game is changing and as the requirements to get victories are changing, you should adjust with them. And I just say, as they do when a pitcher leads the game early and he has the lead, have the official scorers say, who is the most effective pitcher in this game? Who was the winner of this game, if you still want to give out pitcher wins? And then do that instead of hey, you got to go 5 innings if you're a starter. Well, if you're a reliever, here's your third of inning. Enjoy yourself. You don't have to throw a pitch to win a game if you're a reliever. You can just pick a guy off, and you can not come back in the game. You got to win.
There you go. I like this discussion. I think it'll be interesting. Maybe if they go to another extra inning game in Detroit, maybe we'll have a discussion about this and continue it a little bit. But Schwo's asking, will Minnesota lay down versus Sox in those final 6 games like they have versus Cleveland? You'd hope. And hopefully your Padres are bored too and don't want to play.
And I don't think I get it. Not winning looks like they've given up, but they've had a lot of one-run losses versus the Cleveland Guardians. I think the Guardians have won 8 in a row, and 7 of them have been by 1 run. Cleveland's won the season series. I think they've won it by 11 or 12 wins this year already. But Minnesota, I don't think they're giving up. I just think Minnesota is not as good as Cleveland, and the White Sox are not as good as Cleveland. They're the superior team in the division. So I don't think they'll lay down. The one thing Minnesota would probably hate the most is the White Sox making the playoffs over the Cleveland Guardians, because I think the Twins and the Twins fans hate us more than they hate Cleveland.
Yeah, I think I hate the Twins more than I hate the Guardians.
By far.
Yeah. And I hate the Royals most.
It's Twins, Royals, Guardians, then it's Detroit. I actually enjoy the Guardians. I like how they play.
Yeah.
I wish the White Sox played half as good as the Guardians do. I think they have a chance to do some damage in the playoffs.
I think you said it on the Full Go with Jason Goff. You were bringing up Sox have the 7th highest payroll. Cleveland's got what, the 27th?
Yeah.
The 28th? It shouldn't be a competition.
Nope.
But it is. And that's just because of the way they run their organization. Hats off to them. They win baseball games. That's what baseball teams should do.
Exactly.
The White Sox don't like doing that. For some reason, the White Sox don't like doing baseball team things.
I don't know how a baseball observer who loves the game could not love what Cleveland has done. Mm-hmm. I don't like the fact that they don't spend money, but other than that, they're a well-run organization that gets both their minor league talent and their major league talent developed. And if you're not developed, you get somewhere else. So Franmil Reyes was all right. You're not as good as Oscar Gonzalez. Peace out. Josh Naylor wasn't good in San Diego. They've developed him into a Major League Baseball player, a very valuable contributing Major League Baseball player. All these guys, Jimenez, Rosario, they all do a great job of going from one level to the next level. And Cleveland Guardians, I wish the White Sox had that. I wish they had the development at the Major League level.
Let's look at the Guardians here real quick, just because I don't think they're going to crumble. That was the one thing Elvis Andrews said, is that we know that they're going to crumble. This is from Ryan McGuffey of NBC Sports Chicago. You can follow him on Twitter, at Ryan McGuffey, McGuffey. Scenarios for hashtag White Sox and hashtag For the Land. If 85 wins claims the Central, Cleveland needs to go 6-11. Sox must go 10-6. But if they sweep Cleveland, if they don't, they'll need to go 11-5. If 86 wins the Central, Cleveland needs to go 7-10. Sox need to go 11-5 or 12-4 if they don't sweep Cleveland on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 87 wins. If that wins the Central, Cleveland would need to go 8-9. Sox would need to go 12-4 if they don't sweep, 13-3. And then 88 wins, 9-8 for Cleveland. Sox 13-3. They must sweep, or if not, go 14-2 if Cleveland goes 9-8. So they're definitely going to need to sweep Cleveland at this point.
They put themselves in this predicament where you're depending on the Twins to do your dirty work for you. Now, after this series, after you play Detroit, it's all up to you in this 3-game set versus the Cleveland Guardians. You put yourself in this pressure pot right now to having to sweep the Cleveland Guardians. And then after that, having other people help you out while you help yourself out. 14-2 in their last 16 games, just if Cleveland is at 9-8. Ridiculous.
Right.
You put yourself in this, and that's what I'm still mad at the White Sox and other people in April and May. Plenty of time. No, urgency is needed at the beginning of the year. Those games, as I always say, count the same in April as they count today in September. You do your work early, you wouldn't have to have this. You wouldn't have to have this at all.
Baloney's saying I don't see Cleveland going 6-11. No. I don't see the White Sox going 10-5.
Me either. Have you seen? I mean, they've done 10-5 with Miguel Cairo, but that was versus a lesser teams. And yes, there was some Mariners victories, but also there were some Royals games in there. They should have won versus the goddamn Diamondbacks.
Tigers on Friday.
Tigers, yeah, exactly. And you have Tigers back this weekend. Tigers did the job on Friday, and they'll probably get one of the victories this weekend. That's why I was saying it's unrealistic for the White Sox to sweep the Tigers. It's in their ballpark. The White Sox don't play consistently enough to beat the Tigers every time they play them, and so they're gonna get a couple games. And they got Friday's game.
Almost got last night.
Yeah, we're gonna start Vinny the V today. They might win 2 out of 3, and this shit could just be over today. Like over, done, bye.
Yeah. It's a shame. It's really a shame.
Yeah, and people have to pay the price.
Yeah, Russ did saying too, I think you said it earlier, just being like, Sox fans, you can't use the injuries as an excuse. Like, people need to pay. I promise you, they are going to give us a mic 5 days a week, each and every week, until the next season starts. And what we will do is, if the White Sox don't win the AL Central, we will use our platform and our power to try to get the people who fucked you over, what's that word? Accountability?
Yes.
Accountability is that word.
Very lacking in the White Sox organization, accountability.
I don't know.
But somebody has to leave, if not multiple people.
Right. I don't know how much we can do, but we'll try our best for you people. Let's look at the starting Sox. Leading off for your Chicago White Sox will be Elvis Andrus playing shortstop. Batting second, Yohan Moncada at third base. Batting third, Jose Abreu at first base. Batting fourth, Eloy Jimenez at designated hitter. Batting fifth, Gavin Sheets in right field. Batting sixth, Andrew Vaughn in left field. Batting seventh, A.J. Pollock in center field. Batting eighth, Sebi Zavala at catcher. And batting ninth, Romy Gonzalez at second base. Nice to see Romy back.
It is, and he played well last night. I saw... you get the great play from him where he's diving and making a stop, and then subsequently in that same inning, I believe, he biffs the ball that allows the second run to score, where if he just picks that ball up, throws the first, the White Sox are out of that inning. But I was wondering why he was out of the lineup for the 2 or 3 games he was. I know you got to give Josh Harrison some run, but Romy has played well in his stead here as the White Sox second baseman.
Yes, he has played well. No Luis Robert in this lineup. Miguel Cairo said yesterday, to me, it looked better. Even the last at-bat when he hit the ball hard to third base, I was like, okay, he's getting there. Hopefully with 2 more days, he's fine and can go. Robert hit a ground out 102 mile per hour to third base to end that game.
It wasn't diving stop. It was a barehanded play. I forgot.
Oh,
barehanded step. They threw him to first. They initially called the guy safe, and then on review, they called him out. It was a great play by Romy Gonzalez. I think he's been solid. And then when Tim comes back, he'll be a nice fifth infield for the White Sox to have off of the bench.
Well, they tried him out in the outfield too. Yeah. Like I'm fine. We've tried Gavin Sheets out there. I tried Romy Gonzalez out there. All right. Let's talk now about the Tiger starting lineup. We also can let you know Tanner Banks officially has been added to the roster, while Joe Kelly has been placed on family medical leave. So we wish the best with Joe Kelly and his family. Tigers lineup, Riley Green leads off for them in center field. Batting second, Willie Castro at second base. Batting third, Javier Baez at designated hitter. Batting fourth, Spencer Torkelson at first base. Batting fifth, Kerry Carpenter in right field. Batting sixth, Eric Haas at catcher. Batting seventh, Jeimer Candelario at third base. Batting eighth, Ryan Kreidler at shortstop. And batting ninth, Akil Baddoo at left field. All right. Nothing much about this lineup sticks out.
Not at all.
I don't really care. Torkelson sucks. He's batting fourth.
Yeah, it's a terrible lineup at this point. They can't hit well. The Hall of Famer's not there anymore. I'm not in the lineup anymore, Miguel Cabrera. So there's nothing special about this Tigers team. So to split already with the 2 games they played this weekend is disappointing. And the White Sox only getting 5 runs this weekend. Ugh.
Well, and people are like, oh, Davis Martin was great last night and he was fantastic. And we faced the Tigers. He's been fantastic against the Royals and Tigers. He should be. They're AAA team.
It was a good job. Hey, I got to give him credit. You did well. Your first complete game, or your first quality start in your major league career, you came up and stepped up when Johnny Cueto was sick and he couldn't answer the bell. And then today we got to have Vinny the V do the same thing. I don't expect him to go 6 innings with no earned runs, but if Vinny the V can get us 5 with 3 earned runs or less, you can't ask for much more, especially in a spot start.
Yeah, Miguel Cairo said they're hoping for 4 to 5 innings from Vince Velasquez if feasible. Johnny Cueto is still dealing with dizziness but was in the clubhouse, and Cairo said he's feeling a bit better. Pitching plan for Guardians next week is in flux, so hopefully Johnny Cueto can rest up. Maybe he'd be ready for Tuesday. Let's look at the pitching matchup. Since Johnny Cueto's not able to go, it's Vince Velasquez on the bump for the Sox. In 63 innings, he's pitched 63 innings this year. He's got a 5.57 ERA, 61 hits allowed, 52 strikeouts, 19 walks, walk surrendered, and 75 ERA plus. MLB average is 100. Drew Hutchison is on the bump for the Tigers. 91 1/3 innings pitched, 4.24 ERA, 96 hits allowed, 58 strikeouts, 36 walks, and an ERA plus of 90. We haven't seen Vince Velasquez start last since May 24th. Have you missed it?
I actually liked Vince Velasquez's starts. Remember at the beginning of the year, he was kind of saving the White Sox with no, Dallas Keuchel sucking. You had no Lance Lynn and Lucas Giolito going out after that first week of the season, the first game of the season, and then eventually getting COVID. So I didn't mind Vince Velasquez. He was doing a good job. The ERA right now is kind of shocking because I don't think he's pitched that poorly. I think he's come into games and he's just given up a lot of stuff. But I expect him to go out and battle and give the White Sox a chance to win. I don't think he is of 5 ERA, 5.5 ERA. I think he'll do a good job for us.
Here, I'll give you some numbers that might ease your mind a little bit about Vince Velasquez. His first 7 games, he started all of them because of Johnny Cueto and Lance Lynn. Just starters weren't ready. 7 starts for Vince Velasquez, a 5.79 ERA in those 7 starts. But in the 16 games since he's moved to the bullpen, a 5.09 ERA. So he's not that bad.
He's consistent.
He's getting better.
He's getting better. He was pretty good last time the White Sox, or he started a game against the Tigers. June 15th, he pitched 2 2/3 innings for the Sox to open up that game, and that was the game the Sox won 13-0. Hopefully the Sox can have a big day like they did in that game. But also, it's football season, and PointsBet's bringing you a better way to bet live on games, which means before this ad is over, you can place a live same-game parlay bet. You can bet on the next drive to be a touchdown, and you can cash out your live second half over bet. With PointsBet, you have access to more live football markets than ever before. You can build the perfect live same-game parlay by combining your favorite bets anytime during the game, including spreads, totals, player props, and more. You can choose the outcome of the next drive and next points with PointsBet's Lightning Bets. So whether you're on the move or on the couch, do it live on PointsBet. You can download the PointsBet app today and sign up with the code CHGO to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. And if you or somebody who has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER for crisis counseling and referral services. Herb, what's your prediction and who you going for click to pick today?
I'm going to go with Yoan Moncada, and the White Sox lose today.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, 4-2. Because Drew Hutchison, while he seems like nothing, he has held the White Sox down in his starts this year versus them. I think he's only given up 2 earned runs at the most. And, I think it was a 2-inning start, a 4-inning start, and a 5-inning start, or a 6-inning start. But he's had the White Sox number, a mediocre to bad right-handed starter that just shuts the White Sox offense down. I think they lose today, 4-2, and wrap this shit up.
Yeah, some of the big names have struggled against Hutchison. 16 plate appearances for Abreu, a 5.17 OPS. Harrison in 3 plate appearances, no hits, no walks. He hasn't gotten on base. Jimenez, 5 plate appearances, a 200 OPS. Moncada in 7 plate appearances, a 452 OPS. But Andrew Vaughn, he's 3 for 7 against Hutchison. Pollock's 2 for 6, and Gavin Sheets 2 for 3. I'll go with Gavin. Gavin does have a homer off Hutchison. I'm going with Andrew Vaughn, baby. Let's go.
Drew Vaughn.
I'll go Drew Vaughn
if you want.
No, I'll go Drew Vaughn.
I'm going with Yoan.
You're going to Yoan?
Yeah.
The Sox are still losing?
I'm still losing. I wish I was positive about this team, but it's hard to be. They struggled versus the damn Detroit Tigers.
Sox.
The Tigers. This shit's on the line, and they're out here scrapping for runs against the Tigers. Scrapping.
Sox win 8-4.
All right, 8-4.
8-4.
Where are they coming from?
They're playing Drew Hutchison.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it. I like Hot Spots Casino going with Elvis today. I think that's going to be a good pick. We'll talk about Kopech on the post-game show, bring you all of the injury updates around him. And I got to get my thoughts straight about him because I'm pretty pissed off about it. I just felt like this was coming. Just felt like it was coming.
And they could have planned better for it. I got
could have had any plan. I feel like they didn't have a plan. And they just hoped that the plan was that he wouldn't get hurt, and then he got hurt, and they're like, fuck, he got hurt.
Didn't we talk about it at the beginning of the year? And we talked about it every single inning. He pitched over the maximum that he had ever pitched in Major League Baseball. First year starting pitcher, too. So, yeah, he was already going to get hurt. He got hurt in a game before the game started, and they're like, fuck it, let's go out there and throw.
Whoa, I love the White Sox.
The White Sox, of course.
Luis
do
Robert,
nothing right.
come back. We will talk to you guys after the game. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when we go live after this game. That's Herb Lawrence. You can follow him on Twitter at ActonWall23. He's a CHGO White Sox community leader. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. Thank you to Steven Nicholas for producing the show today and for participating in the extra innings topic, and also for bringing the Steve Stone, what Steve Stone said as well. We'll talk to you after the game, and go Sox.